next certification I took was again with Simone Seol, but with Simone Seol and Melissa Tiers. Melissa Tiers does hypnosis work. She works with a lot of therapists. She works with a lot of psychiatrists. She works with the neuroscience of the brain. Now, Simone both welcomed in, collaborated, just like she did with David Bedrick. Simone Seol collaborated with Melissa Tiers, but mostly this certification, although I don't know what the word is, like made better by Simone. I don't know what the word is. The content and the ideas and the teaching came from Melissa Tiers. That program is now called Integrative Change Work. And the certification I got is with the Ethical Coaching Collective. So in that integrative change work, what I learned was how the brain works. Like, how does the brain lock in a memory, an experience? And then more importantly than that, the pathway that lights up to navigate our way through the experience. So if we go back to the first certification I took, which was at the Life Coach School and the model. So the circumstance might be the thing that gets lit up. But then the path we take, sometimes you could compare the thoughts we think, the path we take after we have that experience is something that is malleable, is changeable. So sometimes we are navigating a situation consciously. Sometimes we are navigating a situation unconsciously. And it's just we're moving through, brains are computers. So our brains are always like calculating, where does this go? What does this connect to? What is this similar to? And how did we get through that? Let's do the same thing again. But it might not have been a useful thing that our brains did the last time. So even though we're following pathways, I was explaining this to a client the other day in a really cool way that was unique to her situation. And you can imagine like a field. I've used this explanation before, but I'm trying to actually remember what the specific client situation was before. Actually, I know what it was. Okay, so you imagine a field. You know those fields with like really tall grass? This particular client was saying, why do I keep falling into abusive relationships? Like, I know better and I keep picking the same man, the same kind of man. And I said, you know those really tall fields with tall grass? And perhaps enough people have walked through the grass, maybe actually even one person based on how grass works, but enough people have walked through one path that you stumble upon the field and you're like, that's the way I should go. Obviously, like, there's a path. I should go that way. But at the end of that path is an abusive relationship. When we're on one side of the field, all we think is like, that looks like a good path to take. We don't see what's on the other side. And so when we have patterns that we've created in our lives, they look like that to us. It's like, I know what to do. I'll take the path. When we have awareness and conscious intention and purpose in our behaviors and our actions and our thoughts, we have to stand at the edge of that field and go, you know what? There is a path, but I don't know what's on the other side of that path. Maybe I could rise above and look on the other side of the field. Maybe I could try a different way. It's this idea that we don't have to do the thing that looks easy because we've done it before, or that looks easy because someone else has done it before. We want to stop at the edge of the field and then use our various other tools to say, is that the path I want to go down? I'm not going to get into all the tools we can move through at that point and when and how we decide to walk that path or a different path. But it's this idea, I hope it's making sense. It's this idea that we do the same things over and over again because our brains think it's easy. It's like, well, that's how it works. That's what we do. we can go back and change those patterns. Those patterns, even though they look well trodden, we can consciously change the pathways that we tend to habitually take. We can actually change memories. We can change memory pathways. We can change habit pathways. And so the biggest, there's so many tools I use from that certification, like really concrete, good, juicy tools. But the idea I took away most from that certification was that brains are brilliant and sculptable. And we can sculpt our brains, which means we can sculpt the way we view our past, the way we participate in our present, and the way we plan for our future.